Hi, I'm Colleen. Welcome to my channel. And this is just, like you may have just read, I have 18 hours of not live footage, of me recording everything I was doing to put the Simply Vintage Christmas quilt together. And this was all after I had found the pattern for what I'm calling the settings. It's by 3 Yard Quilt, and theirs is called Vintage Quilt. It's made for 6-inch panels, and my blocks finish at 6-inch, so it works perfect, and I love it. But I was trying to figure out a more efficient way. And by the way, if you have a 3 Yard quilt book, seriously, get one of these strip rulers. It is a huge time saver. And I have the generic one. It's working so far. I mean, it could stop at any moment, but and I can even subcut with it, although I didn't think of that when I was doing these cuts. So what I did is I took their pattern and I wanted to make less seams in it and some other things, so I made myself a little template and did some math, and I figured out how I was going to do that. And with all the figuring I did, it was probably easier just to do it their way. No, I don't know. I think it uses a little bit less fabric the way I'm doing it, and I'm not, exactly going to tell you how I'm doing it and stuff, because it's an awesome pattern. And I bought it, and so I wouldn't have thought of this combination and those calculations on my own. Well, maybe eventually, but it probably would have taken years. So I am strip cutting, and I cut these to try for the flying geese type ends that are going on my rectangle, because I thought it would be the most efficient way. Well, later I decided it wasn't the most efficient way, and what is wrong with me? I don't know. I really don't. I think about 4 blocks I have included in the 18 hours that I'm sorting through. This is just the first 7 hours I've went through. The next one that I'm going to try to get down to 30 minutes is sizing up a panel. I've done that a couple times. Had a panel that's like 5 inches and I need it up to 6.5 inches unfinished. So I'm gonna do some of those in the next one. And of course there's some sewing, because those had to get added to the blocks somehow. But I was just like, oh, look at that. I'm using my 1/4 inch ruler. You never see me do that, do you? Yeah. I don't think it's in this bunch, but there was a bunch where I was cutting, because I was kind of cutting them as I went, because I wasn't exactly sure if I wanted to stick with their how many blocks across and down they did, because I think those are just too small. So I didn't cut all of these at once. I did several. Actually, I think I figured out enough to do what their setup was, and I don't remember how many blocks that is right now, but I did enough to do that so I could see how I liked it, and then I went and did more. And I use a 1.6 stitch, and here you can see just the grab and add method. For some reason I didn't care for this. All the fiddling. It worked. Everything I tried worked. It just was not my favorite. Let's see, I tried fiddling, I tried pinning, I don't think I tried clipping. Oh, I tried sewing off of the strips instead of cutting them into triangles like that. And there it is. And that just wasn't efficient or time saving either. But it worked. And if it didn't work, I threw it in back of me. I said, I will deal with you later. I think I still have about 3 of those left that I need to find later to deal with. So this is just You know, I do those blocks on my lives and free patterns where I can, and if I have them. So I thought I'd show you guys some what I do in between. And over this weekend, I got my goal of the 4 blocks made. Of course, 2 4 panels that I sized up. They count. They go in the quilt. They count. Oh. And I was working on some block of the months that I had, and I got 2 of those done this weekend. So starting my new week, I've got 4 more and 2 more to do on those lists. Plus my lives, and I just don't know if I want to stick with the Christmas card deck for my lives right now. Now, Christmas is over, and it was kind of, and you know. On one hand, I could do Christmas all year. On the other hand, I realized I don't have as much Christmas fabric as I thought I did. I got a great big, and see, going back to the subject I was on, I was trying the fold back FPP where you sew beside the paper. I'm just not good at that. I'm not good at that at all, and I gave up that pretty quickly. So I'm still trying to figure out the most efficient way here. I eventually do. Anyway, I got a large, very large Christmas box that was on sale at Dollar General last weekend before. And I was like, oh, this will hold all my Christmas fabric. I am delusional. I got home. And I think I had it in there a couple days before I decided that was a battle I wanted to pick. Because I was still working with some of my Christmas fabric, and I am still working with some of my Christmas fabric. That's one of the blocks we did on Alive. And so I got the ones that I wasn't working with right now because I'm trying to use up scraps and crumbs. So the little things. So I took all the bigger stuff, and it fit in the littler of the 2 boxes I got from Dollar General, and now I've got this giant Christmas box. And when I was sorting, I was like, oh, I need to find some fabrics that are red, white, and blue. So I got my patriotic fabrics out and realized I have 3 times as many patriotic fabrics as I do Christmas. And I don't know if that makes me sad, but I think that makes me sad. But the thing is, they're either multicolored or blue, different styles of blue. I need to go get some reds. I also discovered I could use some shades of green, which I've got a plan to go get those. There is a store in the city that sells batiks, and I can't remember if they were like $7.99 or $7.50 a yard. They are good and they are nice, and that would be perfect because I love the color variations. I think it just adds to a quilt. Okay, what system did I switch to a new system? Oh, and my eyes just did not like sewing them from the front, so I started flipping them over and sewing them from the back. It was easier to see that V for some reason. And then, yeah, I used all of those, and I needed more. I think I've got all I need cut out now. The other day I actually did the math and counted and went through my blocks and counted, and I think I've got all of those figured out now, and they're in a pencil box, you know, the old kind of school plastic boxes we had. It holds everything that goes with that perfectly, including some border strips that I've cut. This is really easy to use. And you don't have to reset. I mean, I did all of those in like seconds. Really seconds. Anyway, do you guys have a to-do list for this year? Quilts, UFOs, whips that you're working on, organizing that I'm always organizing. I like it. I like organizing. I like putting things where they go. I like making homes for things. I like making them easier for me to get to. And when you're organized, you can have more fabric. I think that's what happened. I think I organized my Christmas to where now it fits more fabric. I've got a zillion panels I need to use up. I've seen the 3-yard quilts and some of the fabric designers. I don't know if they're designers or what it's considered, like North Cotton stuff. They have free patterns on their sites. So 3-yard quilts has tons that will work with different. They have some that work with panels now, they have all kinds of different size blocks that you could put in just about any quilt they do, which I don't know why I hadn't thought about that before. So that's kind of going to inform my decision on the next thing I decide to pick fabrics for, to do the random picking on my channel, trying to find a setting. It's not my favorite thing to find one that is a paid for, like the vintage quilt, but then again, I think that was worth the money. So, because I know buying things ain't cheap. Can't afford to go get something every time you want to do a sew along with somebody or a quilt along with somebody. My gosh. So I try to keep it. Yeah, I don't think anybody actually does these with me, but if they wanted to, if somebody saw these in the future, you know, I try to keep it, I guess, affordable, doable. I don't know. I try. But I do in the end do what makes me happy, what I enjoy making. This Christmas one, I really enjoyed making it. I don't know that I'm going to enjoy making those 20 more blocks over the next 4 weeks to get it done by the end of January, but I will, because it'll get it off of my design. It's a clothes rack. I had to move it. It was too big for my little design wall I had. And again, I am using my add a quarter ruler and this little template I made to chop off my corners. And I use those corners in all kinds of scrap projects. I think I had it was a block a week or two ago. I used several of those on, and I've used them on other things since, so they're not going to waste. And this little thing came from Dollar Tree, this purple thing. It holds everything perfectly while I'm still working on them. I may have talked through when I decided to start using the glue. But yeah. I actually put some more school glue in this bottle. I think it needs a little bit of water. It may be too thick. I don't know. I'll have to remember that someday. And this little iron I'm just using to set the glue really fast. It doesn't do anything to your needle. It washes right off. It's like Elmer's school glue. It has a very fine tip on it. You can buy tips for Elmer's glue, liquid school glue. I also use glue sticks for FPP, but this went really fast, and I prepped them all. Didn't have to fiddle much. Left my overhang about 1/4 inch on either side. The second ones I had to fiddle with a little bit more, but hey, these just flew by, and I got to sit in a comfortable chair. I wasn't stuck over there at my desk in that uncomfortable sewing chair. Just so you know, there's no sewing chair that's going to be comfortable for me, so when the problem is a spine, you know. But yeah, I decided I liked gluing. I should glue more. I really should. That stuff is amazing. And then I just take my tray over here, lay them out to start sewing. I guess this was the 4th one that I tried. And see how fast that's going? I did all my work sitting in a comfortable chair, got them all set up so I could sew at my convenience whenever I had time. Even when I can't do anything, I can usually pull up the table to my chair and find something to cut or size or pattern or something. And yeah, that was a lot of those. I don't have the numbers with me right now about how many I needed in the end, but it was a bunch. See, I'm doing, because they didn't do theirs, I'm doing mine 6 across and 7 down. Each one 5 across and 7 down, need 2 of those. So 5 times 7 is 35, that makes it 70, plus the ones on the end need 1, which is 7, so I think it's 77 of these rectangles with the flying geese all together. There was a few. And like I said, I wasn't counting at first. As I was going along, I was just making enough to get by. Which is insane when these go so quickly. That is insane. I don't know, if you guys enjoy this kind of thing, let me know. I really, just... Has anybody else heard of throwing spaghetti at the wall? If it sticks, it's ready. I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall all the time now. And yeah, what do I put up? Well, what did I do? Well, I guess that's what I'll put up. I think I need some quiet time, and let's find some really bad free music to put here so I don't get in any trouble for copyrights. All of the blocks on this video, the standard blocks, have been made on a live, and on my lives there is free patterns underneath them, and I use that term loosely. If you know me, you know that. Pictures and cutting instructions, and then you can try to follow the live. And if you need more help, feel free to comment. Always glad to help. And if you like this kind of thing, don't mind subscribing. Be happy to have you. I go live every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I usually sew and chat. So thank you for coming by. Thank you for watching this video. I don't know if it's anything teaching, but let you know that quilting is a lot of work. Yeah, I know it's common for people to say, well, I can get a quilt at Wally World for $100. Big box store, for those of you who don't know. Or I can get one for $70. Why is a handmade one, hundreds or 1,000? Because it's handmade. And if you haven't heard the term, some people aren't quilt worthy, I think that's the reason for it. And if you haven't tried the gluing technique, I'll put a link where I got this glue. I'll try to put a link where I got this bottle, which was at Halo Inspirations, a small business in Virginia that I like to support. And the iron was off Amazon. I'm still debating whether I really like it or not. It's a little fiddly. It's great for over here for short, use, but the large iron, it covers more space. It's more effective at getting it done. And I really like this because I can sit in my recliner to do my cutting. I can sit in my recliner and I can do all of this cutting and get all of the pinning done without pinning. If you don't know me, pins love me. I really don't like them. They're mean. But stick around, check out my channel. I've got some block of the months I'm doing with my friend Melissa at Practically Creative and Sylvia at You and Me FPP. And Sylvia makes custom FPPs. She can do it from a picture. For I guess the price varies. It's just like buying any other pattern. But she has an email, and that's underneath my videos because I like to support her and I love her work. She has been such a support to me with FPP. I want to support her, and I think everyone should. So those are a couple of my friends to check out. And we had a collab with Dawn, who has a channel at My Quilt Projects, and I am going to be doing some of her blocks from her last quilt along that she shared, the hourglass quilt along that she did. I'm going to try to do all of her blocks, probably not necessarily in the right order, but they are free blocks. They are on her vlog, so if you go check out her channel, you'll find a link to her vlog. I'll try to put both underneath this video. If nothing else, I know the link to her channel will be there. And we're calling them challenge blocks, me and Melissa and Sylvia, when we do them. Some of them are more challenging than others. You might learn a new skill. I was doing so well today. And this is where I decided to start using squares cut up into triangles instead. Actually, I probably started that before because I'm pretty sure this is the last time I cut them. Anyway, thanks for dropping by. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Take care. Be the light you hope to see in others.